Justice will be done.
What's going on, guys? Cavalry here, and today we are going to be taking a look at Reinhardt Wilhelm. This is our last character study. We have covered every character so far, so if you have not seen any of our other character studies, feel free to pop down in the description, and there will be a playlist. So let's get right into Reinhardt, and let's start with his origin story. So Reinhardt, being the oldest Overwatch hero in the game, he is a 61-year-old German soldier, and he considers himself a champion of a bygone age. By what he says next, we can assume that that age is about medieval times. He says that he follows a knightly code of valor, justice, and courage. So it definitely does seem like the medieval times. So the cool thing about Reinhardt is that he was actually one of the founding members of Overwatch. He was recruited over 30 years ago when the robot uprising was starting to happen. And Reinhardt, being a highly decorated soldier, he was able to join as part of the original Overwatch strike team that ended the Omnic Crisis. So eventually the conflict resolved itself, and the Overwatch grew into a global institution that kept peace in a war-torn world. And Reinhardt proved himself to be one of the best allies that the Overwatch had. Everyone admired him because he was never afraid to speak his mind. At times, he was Overwatch's most vocal supporter, and he often reminded Overwatch that it was an organization that was meant to bring peace and not start wars. Reinhardt was actually a member of the Overwatch until his late 50s. That's more than 20 years of service. Eventually, he was forced to retire. Like any retired person, Reinhardt became depressed, and he felt like he lost his purpose in life. And as time went on, all he could do was sit by and watch the organization that he dedicated his life to became under suspicion of corruption. It's kind of sad and interesting to hear that this is why Overwatch eventually disbanded. People just lost faith in the organization and thought that they were no longer a group of people that brought peace to the world. Eventually, Overwatch surrendered in disgrace. As times grew darker and things became dysfunctional, Reinhardt did not sit idly by. Instead, he vowed himself to fight for justice. He picked up his crusade armor, and now he travels across Europe, defending the innocent and winning the hearts of millions, promising them that better days will come. So there you go, guys. That's the background story of Reinhardt. Pretty cool. I mean, all I really want to know is how he can fit inside that armor, because it doesn't say anywhere that he's a robot, so he must be human, and he's kind of oddly shaped and ginormous, so how does he fit in armor? Like, I don't know, it's crazy. Anyway, let's go into his abilities, because that's all you really care about, right? What you're going to be using in multiplayer. So Reinhardt is actually one of two tank classes in the game. I personally consider Reinhardt more of the offensive type tank, while the Gorilla Winston is more of the defensive type tank role. So let's get into his abilities. Now, Reinhardt is actually a unique type fella because he is the only Overwatch hero who does not have a ranged type ability, because his first ability, which is just his normal weapon, is actually just a hammer. There's no range whatsoever when you're playing Reinhardt. So yes, his first ability is a rocket hammer, and you pretty much just swing it in a wide arc and you just damage your opponents that get hit by it. Simple as that. His next ability is shield. Reinhardt projects a forward-facing energy shield, and it can absorb substantial amount of damage before it's destroyed. So Reinhardt can protect himself and all his companions that are behind him. However, Reinhardt cannot attack when he's putting up the shield. So his third ability is charge. This is where he just runs in a straight line forward. He grabs enemies that are in his path and he just freaking smashes them into walls or something. It's pretty cool. His next ability is fire strike. This is where he throws his hammer forward like a boomerang type deal, and it like throws like a flaming projectile, and it just damages any enemy that it touches. So his final ultimate ability is Earth Shatter. This is simply Reinhardt smashing his hammer on the ground, and it deals damage to all enemies in front of him, and it also knocks them down and stuns them. So that's pretty cool. But that's everything on Reinhardt, and that actually wraps up all of our character studies. So again, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button because we're going to be covering a whole bunch of Overwatch. So if you're excited for Blizzard's new game, leave a like, subscribe, and tell me what you think of Reinhardt in the comments below. We'll talk to you later, guys.